All praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believers in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills. And I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself, to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. This week we are looking at a Rabbana that is not like the ones we have seen before. The ones we have seen before, for the most part, have been requests. They have been questions to the Creator, asking for the Creator to provide some type of value or benefit to those who are seeking it. But this one is a statement, and it says, "O our Lord is indeed all-forgiving and ready to appreciate service." Now, when we look at these Rabbanas, we have to look at the context of which they were placed, where in the Quran, when this surah was revealed, and if it was Mecca or Medina, to kind of understand a general concept. But when we look at this one particularly, it's found in Surah Fāṭir, which means the originator, and it's in verse 35. But when we look at the title of that surah, Al-Fāṭir, the originator, we think of how familiar that word sounds. Fāṭir, coming from the root word Fitra, the same word that Fitra comes from, which is the original nature. And that is also the same name of the celebration, the Eid, that takes place after Ramadan, where we have gone through this period of purifying or cleansing our behavior, cleansing ourselves, removing these bad habits to return to our original nature, to return to this person or this being, something that God, that Allah is pleased with. All of our actions line up. All of the things that we have done have lined up. So this is what we keep in our mind when we think about this surah, Al-Fāṭir, the originator, Allah being the originator, and this idea of original disposition. So this Rabbana is not a request. When we think about it in context of it's speaking towards someone making this statement who has that original disposition, someone who has achieved the outcome or the goal that Allah has for everyone, to line their life up, to formulate their will to be in line with his. And if we read those verses leading up to verse 35 in Surah Al-Fāṭir, 34, 33, 32, we'll see that this Rabbana is made by those who have already achieved paradise. And so if they've already achieved paradise, that means that they have lived their life. That means that they have had the experiences. That means that they have shaped themselves, have shaped their behavior, and brought themselves back to that original nature. They lived as good Muslims. They lived as believers. They did all the things necessary to achieve paradise. So they're at this Fitra nature. And so then they don't have a request to make, because they're there. They've achieved paradise. They've done all the steps. So this Rabbana, which is not a request, which is a statement of fact, a hint to the wise, a message for the believers who still are living their life, who are still experiencing the trials and tribulations and making those choices and decisions in hopes to achieve paradise. Those who are in paradise have stated this Rabbana of, "Oh, our Lord is indeed all forgiving." How do they know? They know their life. They know where they are. And it says that he is appreciative of service and ready to appreciate service. So he's saying, go out and do the work. Go out and do the service in the name of your Creator. Go out and do good deeds in the name of your Creator, and you may find forgiveness. A lot of times we want to go to somebody who's already accomplished the thing to learn how to do it. When we look for mentors, when we look for people to teach us how to be better at the thing that we do, when we search out coaches, we want to find somebody who's done it, somebody who's better. So who better than to let you know what it is that Allah is looking for, or what Allah is? It's the person who has achieved paradise. And the beautiful thing about this Quran, we may be reading it right now, and we may understand the context of once we die and we're waiting for the day of judgment. But here Allah is speaking so far into the future, where this conversation, where this Rabbana of the person who has already past the day of judgment that we will all be at, is making this statement of Allah is all forgiving and ready to appreciate service. This is your Creator. This is your Creator providing a mentor for you, somebody to tell you that it's okay to seek forgiveness from your Lord. So this is a beautiful Rabbana. أقول كذا استغفر لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So let's look at this from the aspect of needing mentorship. The aspect of seeking knowledge or seeking information from someone who has already accomplished what it is that we want to do, what it is that we want to be. And just think about the times in your life. Maybe as a child, maybe you played football, and everything that your coach told you, you did. They told you that in order to run faster, you need to do these drills. In order to get stronger, you need to lift weights like this. And you carried that on, and you went to school, and you had desires to be a lawyer. You had desires to be a doctor. You had desires to be something more than what you were. You wanted to do what your parents did. And so the information that they provided you to tell you the steps that they took, they looked at the pitfalls that they had. They looked at the successes that they had. And they provided this information to you because it was hindsight. They had already lived those experiences, and you took that in and you said, yes, this is what it is that I'm going to do. And maybe you found success. Maybe now you're in the role or the position to do what it is that you desire to do. Maybe you're there now because of the information that they gave you. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to do better on your NCOER, on your OER. So you took on a mentor. You took on someone senior in your branch, senior in your MOS. And you listened to them, and they told you, hey, go to these schools. Go do these things. Take these classes. Get this education. And you did all of that, and you listened to them. And you took that information in and you applied it. And maybe you saw success from the words that they gave you. So now your mind is beginning to work. Now your mind is beginning to understand that maybe I need to go to those who have accomplished the things that I am thinking about or the things that I want to do and get information from them so that I can have an easier task, so that I don't have the same pitfalls that they had, so that I can move faster and accomplish the things better. And you understand that this is the process. But for some reason, we only apply that process to the things of this world life, of the dunya, of the things that we can interact with now in this physical sense. We don't always apply the teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him. We don't always apply the lessons that are found in the Qur'an. For some reason, we think that it has to be someone physically here that has lived and done the thing to tell us for us to be able to be successful. But Allah knows inside of you there's this inclination to want to achieve paradise. And so because that inclination is there, there's now this obligation to engage and to read the Quran. So Allah knows that He has a captive audience. An audience who desires to please Him. So what does He do? He doesn't make this information hidden. He doesn't say that you have to go through all these changes to find out what it is or what you should expect from your Creator to achieve paradise. He doesn't do that. What He does is He makes the Quran obligatory to read throughout the month of Ramadan. What He does is He makes the Quran obligatory to be recited in prayer. He makes it to where you always have to engage with this information that is going to help you to achieve paradise. And so He doesn't just leave it in the abstract sense. He gives you stories. He gives you parables of people and their lives and their experiences and the things that they went through. And He doesn't just leave it to people who are interacting in the same plane that you're in, having requests and making du'ās and asking questions of Him in the plane that we exist in. In this book, in this recitation that He's made obligatory for you to study, to look at, He puts a mentor for you. One of those who have already achieved paradise. One of those who have experienced all the same or similar trials that you have. The questioning, the doubts, the thoughts, the insecurities. Someone who has lived all these things and have come to the day of judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah, and stood in front of their Creator, bare and alone. And all they had to show for it were their actions, their choices, their words. And what they found from their Creator was one who was all-forgiving, very forgiving. El-Ghafur. The one who was able to forgive you. Not just that He was, but He was able to. And they were able to see the benefit of doing service, of doing work in the name of their Creator. And so this Creator who loves you so much put in this book that you are required to look at and to engage with and to understand a statement by that individual, or those individuals who said, "Oh, our Lord, you are indeed all-forgiving and ready to accept service." And this was a message from our Creator to us. So let us turn to our Creator for forgiveness. Let us do the works that our Creator is willing and ready to appreciate. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka samiul alim. إن الصلاة ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.